Hey everybody, Chris here. Is Dogecoin a good investment? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. A lot of talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum is the big two, but Dogecoin, I think, is number 3 and one you should have in your portfolio, and I'll tell you why in this video. Overall, we know Dogecoin trades very volatile. We'll look at that as well. So on a red day like we're having right now, Bitcoin will go down, Dogecoin will drop harder. However, on the green days like we saw in July and particularly last November and December, Bitcoin goes up, Dogecoin goes up even higher. So as long as you can live with that volatility, Dogecoin will be okay. However, some of you do get worried, especially on red days, but let's get into it. Let me show you the charts of the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin price, and here's Dogecoin just hanging on right over 21 cents as there is a bit of a sell-off on early Friday morning. Of course, we will check on this later in the day on Friday afternoon when I do my live streams, which are on the afternoons right around 4 o'clock East Coast time. Here in the United States is when I usually start my lives, but make sure that you're subscribed and got your notifications on so you know when the live actually starts. But yes, Dogecoin selling off, but so is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, all these red candles selling off as well. But as typical, right? When there's a red day, Bitcoin's in the red, but Dogecoin does fall harder. And as I'll show on my charts, when there's a green day, Dogecoin does outperform Bitcoin on those. We've had a lot more red days than green days pretty much this year, which means Bitcoin has outperformed Doge. And I'll show you that. And in a little bit, I've got a great comparison chart to show you if you're interested in Dogecoin versus Bitcoin and how the two of them trade. So what's going on? Well, today, Jerome Powell takes the stage at Jackson Hole. Markets are on edge. Commentators hype it up. But if you followed the last FOMC pressers, you already know Powell has been spinning the same record for months, the usual lines. Inflation remains above our 2% target. The labor market is strong, but risks remain. We are data dependent. Decisions are meeting to meeting. The risk of sticky inflation outweighs a weaker job market. The Fed minutes confirmed it. Inflation greater than labor market in their priorities. So what to expect today? As I said, it's going to be a big nothing burger if you've been paying attention. Most likely more of the same, which means disappointment for those betting on a September rate cut. Probabilities for a rate cut have reduced down to 71% now. We've been watching this. These used to be 95. Remember that? And for the past few weeks, it's going down and down and down and down. So this is going to be Jerome Powell, typical, as I've already been saying all week. And like everyone's all hyped up about it. We already see the markets. Like before it even happens, right? We see the sell-off happening. But again, this is just short-term noise, right? I'll show you the chart that when you zoom out, you see the bigger picture. But that's the short-term noise. We also have Donald Trump giving a huge announcement at noon today. Sources claim it will affect the crypto market in a big way. What do you think that's going to be? He's not saying, I don't know, but again, we will follow up in the live stream on what's going on there. Investment CEO posted this morning. Ferrari now accepts Dogecoin payments in the United States as breaking news. I thought this was already a deal, but I guess it wasn't in the US, but now it is. But Ferrari also accepts other cryptocurrencies. Like back in 2021, this would have broken the crypto market, right? Doge would have gone up like 20% on an announcement like this. And this year, it's like, right, man, is this really something? I don't know. And it's just like, there's no breaking news, right? That some people are saying and asking to verify and what's going on. We don't know, right? We don't know. So I haven't seen that specific announcement from Ferrari. And I mean, it'd be nice to have a Ferrari, but I mean, come on. Let's go, right? Look, we're in this market cycle in August right now. We're late August, still summer of chop, as I've been saying. Centaura posts this today, but this only goes through Monday, as the ETFs had this is on Bitcoin and Ethereum. ETFs had big buys last week, but this week, sell Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, big sales, and so the ETFs turn negative. What's going to happen with Dogecoin when it gets its ETF? Is it going to act the same way? Follow the market? So when there's a bad week, there's going to be huge outflows? Most likely. We have to expect that. That is most likely going to happen. And there's still a 90% chance Dogecoin will get ETFs in October, which will be exciting for Doge. But remember, over time, it's just going to follow the market as well. Here's a Lark just showed the ETH here, ETF flow, where, again, Monday outflow, Tuesday big outflows, Wednesday outflows, but Thursday it turned around and started coming back in. So Friday, knowing that it's already a red day to start with, probably be an outflow again. So those are the ETFs. That's how they go. And then CoinMarketCap talks about memes and the week in meme coins. Well, we had Kanye's YZY. We talked about that. Went up to 3 billion and then dropped to 300 million, just 90% like crash. Typical meme tokens, though. Those are meme tokens. But Grayscale with Doge ETF, right? That's the latest one, getting their S1 in place. So they're all set for October. That is awesome. So we'll watch how that happens. But this is what I want to talk about, because Coin Bureau, they had this Dogecoin could hit $1, could crash to 10 cents. Is Doge still worth holding? Is it hype? And they have this whole article here. But before we get to the article, Alva, the AI app, it says Doge still shows upside potential, not just a meme hype. DeFi integrations, institutional moves legitimize the project more than in past cycles. So that part right there, Coin Bureau, Guy and his team did not cover that part. They missed all of this. So that's kind of interesting. They have this whole article here, which is linked from their X. So you can click that link and you can go to their full deep dive about Dogecoin. Is it a good investment? So too long, didn't read. TLDR. Dogecoin is only worth considering as a speculative asset, not a long-term blue chip investment like Bitcoin. I will counter that in just a minute. It remains highly liquid and culturally relevant, but its value is still powered more by memes than real-world utility. Right? What did Alva say? DeFi integrations, institutional move, that's all coming. Guy and his team did not cover that. Price swings are largely driven by hype, sentiment, and external news rather than fundamentals. This is true. Dogecoin does swing very much on hype, very much on sentiment, and is catalyst driven by news. And I'll show you how that ends up trading for Doge. And then there's the tired old narrative, lack of fixed supply cap, limited use cases, blah, 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 right? That's tired. Been hearing that for 4 years. Experts' forecasts for 2025 range widely. Bullish targets near $1, bearish scenarios down to 10 cents, showing extreme uncertainty. And that is true. I see that in the sentiment. These predictions are all over the place. So you can read this article. Again, just go on to X and you can go to Coin Bureau and you can click on that and you can read. It is quite the article. They get into a lot of detail here on past performance, external influences, interest over time. Right now, there's some increase in searches for Dogecoin. This is going to spike at some point in time like it did last fall. That's probably going to happen. We're hoping for that this fall, obviously. High upside, high risk, right? Doge community, general speculation, the macro factors. Again, 99% of the time, Doge is following the market, Bitcoin and ETH. There is this potential Doge ETF. They do mention that. That's about the only really new thing here. The rest of this is could have been probably written like 4 years ago. But they do talk about that. The risks, yes, there's always risk. It's a cryptocurrency after all. There's the old tired trope of lax fixed supply cap, blah, 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 limited use cases, blah, 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 right? So all of that is covered. And then they get into these, all these different forecasts. Should you buy? Hey, follow my channel, right? And I talk about it. Again, Dogecoin's place in a crypto portfolio, you should have some at least, I think, right? Just some. Some are more in than others, but I'm going to show you, is it a good investment, right? Again, Ferrari accepting Dogecoin payments. What else is going to come in, right? As news typically comes in about these announcements of different things taking, we'll see. And then Federal Reserve officials signaled a softer stance on Dogecoin, boosting institutional interest in cryptocurrencies. And I'm like, what? Federal Reserve, Dogecoin? I don't think this is anything. Again, this stuff goes out there. And then, of course, there are memes all over the place, right? Eyes on Doge. Of course, we say on this channel, all eyes on Doge. And check out my live stream. You can hear the song, right? All eyes on Doge. We have a lot of fun with that. But this is what I want to show you. Is Dogecoin a good investment? This is the price of Dogecoin over the past 6 months. Doge is in green here. Bitcoin is in yellow. And Bitcoin has outperformed Dogecoin over the past 6 months. Okay. Year to date, Bitcoin has outperformed Dogecoin from, again, you pick points in time and you can compare the two, right? We're talking about an investment though, so over a longer period of time, right? So let's go 1 year. Dogecoin outperforms Bitcoin 110% over 89%. So Dogecoin outperforms Bitcoin over longer periods. Really? I mean, this is Dogecoin though. Look what happens, right? This is what happened in November of 2024. Dogecoin spikes up really big, outperforming Doge, but then it falls back, right? We go in these little spikes we had in May and we had in July, where Bitcoin doesn't move so much. That is how Dogecoin trades. And if you understand that, you know that here we are at the end of August waiting for that next big spike, because that's what Dogecoin does. Dogecoin goes on these spikes. Let's look at the 5-year. Over 5 years, Bitcoin is up 879%. Dogecoin is up over 6,000%. So over 5 years, Dogecoin has significantly outperformed Bitcoin. And again, even back in 2021, right? We know that. Huge run in Doge, and then Doge comes down, but still outperforming Bitcoin. Goes on another run. Early 2024, Bitcoin had a little tick up. Dogecoin, this is Dogecoin, right? That volatility. Outperforming Bitcoin over longer periods of time. And then, of course, we can go 10 years, right? Let's go 10 years. Look at that. Bitcoin is up 51,000% over 10 years. But what's Dogecoin? Dogecoin's up 172,000%. Again, outperforming Bitcoin. Now you tell me, is Dogecoin a good investment? You won't hear this from the Bitcoin maxis. They will not tell you this. They won't show you these charts because they don't want to admit the truth of what Dogecoin has the capability of doing. So we can talk about, it doesn't have a fixed supply, right? And there's so many coins. And well, on this channel, we talk about this, right? If you look at XRP, Solana, Algorand, and you look at the tokens and how many tokens they have created over the past 4 years, that increase in supply of their tokens has been at a greater percentage than Dogecoin's fixed increasing supply of Doge. Facts. They're just facts that are out there. Is Dogecoin a good investment? Just look at the chart. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Dogecoin as an investment? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.